Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about production possibility frontier. This is a topic in microeconomics and it discusses about production, how a country decide how to use technology and resources to produce certain goods. In this case, the good has to be like two goods or it's all about trade-off. So the country will decide whether they should produce one good or produce both of them at the same time and know how much of one good would they produce and how much of the other good they're willing to produce. So the definition of PPF is tied into the output of one good and whether you will decide to produce the maximum of the other good. It depends on trade-off. So, and the other important part is resources that are available in a given state of technology. Here, let's look at the example. So we have two goods that the country needs to produce: the number of doctors or the number of peacekeepers. These are both important services that the country needs. So this country can either decide to produce 0 doctors and produce 4,000. In this case, it's not like a very desired case because you don't want to have no doctors in the country and then send people out to go help keep peace in the outside country. Or the best way is like to decide whether you want to produce some of the doctors and some of the peacekeepers. So the frontier will look like this. In this case, we have doctors at the bottom. This will show the number of doctors that we're willing to produce and the number of peacekeepers that we're also willing to produce. As I said before, an economy can decide to produce max of 4,000 peacekeepers and 0 doctors. In this case, that economy will suffer because they will have no one taking care of patients and all the other health issues. Or at some point they can decide to produce only doctors and no peacekeepers. But all countries now, they are involved in international issues, so organizations like UN will ask countries to participate. So it will not be like, it will be an extreme case not for a country like Canada not to give peacekeepers to this organization. So when that comes, we have now to do the trade-off. If you give up some number of peacekeepers, it will mean like you would use that technology and resources to produce a number of doctors will increase. Or if you give up a number of peacekeepers and then the number of, if you reduce the number of doctors and then the number of peacekeepers will increase. But at this point we are doing trade-off, we're not like doing extreme cases. So to explain this diagram, all the point A, point B, C and D, they are operating at efficiency. It means like the country has used the available resources and technology to produce a given number of peacekeepers and a given number of doctors. The point inside the line, these are the ones that have not fully utilized the technology and the resources available, so they are underperforming. Either they are not producing any peacekeepers and they are not producing any doctors, and yet the technology and the resources is there. The other point is point H. This point H is unattainable. It means like the given resources and technology that this country have will not be like enough for you to attain this kind of production in terms of how many doctors this country produce or how many peacekeepers this country produce. So it will be unattainable, or they will, for them to achieve this one, they will have exhaust all the resources and all the technology available. Like I've said before, the point on the line, which is A, B, C, and D, are attainable. This is where you really fully utilize your resources and the technology available. On the other side, you have point H, which is above the line. This point is, the points are unattainable, not my resources and technology to achieve this kind of productivity. Another one is point G, which is inside the frontier line. This point, they don't really fully utilize the economy resources, or they do not use the resources, and then they do not produce no doctors or no peacekeepers, or they don't fully produce the desired amount that the country was expecting them. These countries are like those countries that have full resources, but they still don't have that good health because they're not using the resources to produce doctors. This diagram also explains opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is a trade-off. If a country decides to give up 3,000 peacekeepers, reduce the number of peacekeepers by 3,000, that is the opportunity cost of that country producing more doctors, or vice versa. If the country give up maybe 200 doctors, it will be an opportunity cost of producing more peacekeepers. Production efficiency is attained on the line. This is where all resources and technologies have been used to produce doctors and peacekeepers. Thank you for watching. This is the end of the video. See you next time.